everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between a stage parent and a theater parent. I do my best to be a theater mom and not a stage mom, and today we'll talk about the difference between the two. We've all seen the stereotypes of stage parents. If you're like me, you want to support your child in their theater pursuits without overstepping your boundaries. Here are some types of stage parents. Learn and understand these types so you can avoid being one. The first type of stage parent is the know-it-all. This is the parent who has a child who's usually been at this a while. The know-it-all parents try to step in and tell other theater professionals how to do their job. Now, my daughter has been involved in theater for 8 years, but I would never try to weigh in on directing decisions or anything else people usually get paid to do on a show. That is literally above my pay grade. I weigh in on volunteer matters only, like how we can maybe sell more concessions or what meals would be good to serve for Tech Week. Even as my daughter rehearses for shows, I try not to give too many notes or directions at home. That's the director's job, not mine. At the other end of this spectrum are the parents who don't do enough. I guess these would be the opposite of stage parents, but it's still no bueno. These are the parents who don't read emails, don't pay attention to deadlines, and don't get their kids to rehearsals on time. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here because these parents are probably not the ones who are watching my channel. Unfortunately, this behavior winds up costing their child roles in future productions. The next type of stage parent is the ones who wanted to be actors but never got that chance, or they're reliving their glory days through their child. Think of the show Dance Moms, but apply that to theater and you get the idea. These are the vicariously parents. These are the parents who complain about their child's costume or how small a part they were cast in. Sometimes their child might not even enjoy theater that much, but the parent wants them to continue. Be sure you regularly check in with your child and ask them whether they're still genuinely enjoying theater. Remind them that if they want to try something else at any time, you're okay with that. Let them know you're supporting their interests and dreams, not your own. Another type of parent is the argumentative or complaining parent. This is where things can get a little tricky. As a parent, you need to learn to advocate for your child, but do that without stepping on toes. Speak, text, or email with some diplomacy. For example, maybe the rehearsal schedule said things would end at 9 p.m. You've dropped your child off and gone home. Then you get a call at 7 p.m. saying your child's ready to leave rehearsal. Rather than getting nasty with the stage manager or whoever has called you, try using kindness. Often things like this happen because the theater doesn't usually have kids involved in the show, or perhaps the people involved with managing things don't have children of their own. Just gently remind the person on the phone that your 8-year-old can't drive and that you live half an hour away. Ask that they try to evaluate the schedule, and if at all possible, let you know if there's going to be changes and pickup at the time you drop your child off. The same goes for when rehearsal is supposed to end at 9, but it's 10 p.m. before your child finally comes out. Handle it politely and calmly. There have been certain situations where I just made peace with a crazy schedule because the opportunity was so great for my child. If your child is one of the only kids in a show that is mostly grown-ups in the cast, the people in charge aren't going to pay much attention to how the schedule is going to impact the kids. So weigh that carefully before your child accepts the role. There may be some late-night rehearsals. Ask yourselves if it's going to be worth it. Stage parents find it hard to be flexible, whereas theater parents understand things like Tech Week. When Tech Week starts, most scheduling tends to go out the window. Be ready for and at peace with this. If you are cranky to the director and the stage manager about schedule fluctuations, it can impact your child's likelihood of being cast in the future. We're all human and we all make mistakes. If you find yourself doing any of these things, try to reflect, and if there's a way to apologize, do so. I can remember a time when I was a little short with a stage manager due to some miscommunication about the starting and ending times of rehearsal. Later, I made sure to apologize in an email and again the next time I saw her. The stage manager has an incredibly challenging job with many moving parts, so try to be understanding if sometimes there are some hiccups here and there. Gossip parents. There's a difference between a group of theater parents who get along well and hang out together. It's even fine to discuss the show. But if you find yourself saying things you know you wouldn't say if the person you're talking about was in the room, that's gossip. Be very careful with that. It can definitely wind up coming back to bite you. Plus, we tell our kids not to do it, so don't participate in it yourself. Another great way to determine whether you are a theater parent or a stage parent is how you react when your child doesn't get the part they want. It's perfectly natural to be disappointed and even sad or mad, but you need to set a good example for your child and be able to push those feelings aside and still support the show. If you find that you only volunteer to help with the show when your child has a good part, you might be a stage parent. If you're able to give your time and support the theater no matter what role your child is cast in, you're probably a theater parent. Do you spend a lot of time comparing your child to others, sizing up the competition? Even worse, do you talk about it with your child or other parents? That behavior is stage parent behavior. Theater can seem kind of competitive, but you have to look at each casting as matching the right role with the right actor. If your child doesn't get a big part, this doesn't mean they are less talented. It just means that they weren't a good fit for that particular role. This is important for kids to understand, but also for parents. So many things go into casting that we don't even know about. If the director is trying to cast a family, they want all of them to look like they go together. Some things are out of your control. As a parent, you need to try to help your child get the best training you can reasonably afford, then just be comfortable with your child doing their best and trusting the director. Also, theater parents appreciate the life lessons their kids learn when things don't go their way. Stage parents want everything to be easy for their child all the time. If your child wants to pursue theater, they need to develop thick skin. They need to learn that there is some rejection involved. Again, help your child see that it's not necessarily that they are being rejected, it's just that they weren't a good fit for that role. They need to show up, work hard, and keep trying. Eventually, the director will notice their good attitude and work ethic, and there will be a part that is perfect for your child. And finally, stage parents can't read a room. Theater parents learn which of their friends are excited to hear about their kids' theater pursuits and avoid going overboard talking about it with other friends. Your coworkers probably don't want to hear about what big part your child was just cast in, but the parents you carpooled with on the last show, they probably do. We have theater friends. These are the parents I have met through the various shows my daughter has been in. We share casting ups and downs with one another. We go to the shows of each other's kids, but the ladies I work with only get information when they ask. So there you have it, the difference between stage parents and theater parents. Did I miss anything? Let me know down below so we can all avoid being stage parents and do our best to be theater parents. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a share and please hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me and really help me grow my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.